that in your experience, a majority of VR users are under the age of 13?
That's correct.
And that this is apparent to Meta leadership, you said?
Yes, it's apparent to anyone who uses the product.
Who in particular in Meta leadership?
I'm curious if you remember any particular posts, but I know it's apparent to at least C-suite.
Correct. There were legal directors, for instance, who would consistently monitor employees who would post underage videos of their own children using VR. So this was directly visible to leadership who were posting these videos and having it removed internally.
Mark Zuckerberg is aware of this, yes or no?
He would have to be. Oh, sorry.
That's a yes, Dr. Zed. Ms. Savage?
The only way that he would not be aware is if he had never used his own headset.
Well, that's extraordinary. And it's particularly extraordinary because let's take a look at actually Mark Zuckerberg's testimony. Mark Zuckerberg has testified before this committee as recently as just last year, January 31st, 2024. Let's put it up so we can see it. He says, this is Zuckerberg testifying, we don't allow people under the age of 13 on our service. So if anyone who's under the age of 13, if we find them, we remove them from our service. And then in response to another question, he says, we don't want users under the age of 13. We don't want users under the age of 13. Ms. Savage, is this true?
It's an interesting quote. I mean, it would require the user to be honest about their age, in which case Meta would kick them off. But from research, even before Meta acquired the Oculus technology, we know that children are usually not using an account that accurately reflects their age for several reasons. The want part is interesting to me. I don't think their behavior matches that sentiment.
Dr. Zadison, is it true that Meta does not want users under the age of 13 on the platform in any of their services?
I'd like to go back to the point that you made in response to this, is that if they did, their value, their engagement, their profits would go through the floor. In this quote, if is doing a lot of work because they have taken no substantive efforts to make sure that they're understanding that there are kids under 13. It's a lie by avoidance, and Meta knows it.
It's a lie by avoidance. So in other words, Mark Zuckerberg, when he tested, this is last year, I want to emphasize, so it wasn't 10 years ago, this is barely 10 months ago. This was just last year when Mark Zuckerberg says, we don't want people who are under age 13. They're not on our platform. And your testimony here today is, in fact, they're rampant on the platform, and Meta is specifically targeting them. Isn't that your testimony?
Yes, that's correct.
So Mark Zuckerberg has, once again, deliberately misled and lied to the American people. I mean, this is really, really extraordinary.